Is that
Pat,
Pada?
yeah.
Pada, it's good to see you. She
Hey.
just joined the bakery yesterday.
Yeah.
Yay! So, yep, and we've got a bunch of familiar faces here. And thank you, Siva, for my earrings. Aren't they fun? Yes, I'm in my little gypsy phase for today. So all right, guys, we have a lot to cover, a lot to cover. Um, we are going to talk about plugging the profit leaks. Um, just diving right in. We are going to talk about like your process and where I've discovered I was losing money. So I'm assuming at some point you're probably going to be losing some money. So you can learn from my oversights and other things that I've learned as I've coached other interior designers where they've lost some money. We've compiled it. So for those of you who are new, my name's Michelle Lynne. I am the founder of ML Interiors Group, which is a 7-figure award-winning interior design firm in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I'm one of the MSN's top 5 interior geniuses you should know this year. I mean, how cool is that? Give me a little pinch. With, gosh, about 20 years in corporate leadership and now years and years in the design world. Gosh, I'm dating myself. I bring structure, strategy, and sanity to the creative chaos of running a design business. I'm also the founder of Studio Works, a co-working space created just for interior designers. That's where I am today. We're hosting a panel here in about 30 minutes, but this space is created for interior designers. And I am the co-founder of Sidemark, which is a complete sales and marketing platform built specifically for our industry. And finally, I host the Design for the Creative Mind podcast, and I lead the Design Bakehouse, which is where I help designers like you scale to multiple 6 figures without burning out or selling out. So, um, yes, come on to camera. Thank you, Hallie. It is so nice to see y'all's faces. It's just weird staring at my face the whole time. So it's much more interactive this way. All right. So let me just say that you don't need more clients or bigger projects to make more money. Okay. What we're going to be talking about today is losing the profit that you already earn. So in the comments, why don't you share with me where you think you might be losing money? Okay. Tiffany, not sure if I keep my sanity. I did actually just hire a director of operations though, so I'm digging myself out of the hole that I put myself in. Well, speaking of profit leaks, so profit leaks are often invisible. Okay, they're small, unnoticed decisions that drain your margins without you even realizing it. Um, Today we're just going to narrow it down to three of the biggest places that designers lose money, and of course, how you can start fixing them. Because it's great if we identify them, but how can you plug up those holes? So part of it's going to be a mindset shift. Okay, so just like I just said to Tiffany, is that I finally found a good director of operations because I should not be doing operations. That's a big profit leak. I need to be doing CEO work and not operational work. So we're going to talk about that in just a minute as well. So Pearl's just not making money. Where else are you guys losing money? Where do you think you're leaking some? So if you guys have anything, drop it in the chat because if we can address it, then we will do so. So let's talk about mindset. You're the CEO. Okay. You are the CEO. Yes, you are the designer, but you have to be a CEO in order to have a design business. Okay. So a lot of times what it is that a lot of little small leaks will add up. So for example, you're in your designer hat mode, okay? And you spend 5 unpaid hours sourcing, saying just yes to just one more revision, okay? Or you're not charging for your portal to portal travel, okay? Good. Charging by the hour, just starting, not making money, not charging enough. Okay, good. So we'll also make a note. These also, your comments do help us because Hallie and I, and Dee Dee as well, we will, so if you don't know Dee Dee, she is one of our master coaches in the interior design business Bakehouse. which is my signature year-long program. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but we love your comments because it helps us create more content for you. Okay. So when you are working unpaid hours, sourcing extra stuff, or saying yes to just one more revision, or not charging for your portal to portal travel, protecting your profits, it's not about squeezing clients. Okay, it's not about it could be about charging more for your design genius, but it's about protecting your energy and your time and the value that you bring. Oftentimes we get stuck in our hourly rate, but it's the value that we provide. So let's talk about leak number one is over delivering without billing. Okay, we're going to go into detail. Leak number two is underpricing from the start. And number three is not tracking time or scope creep. Okay, these are very straightforward and they're simple, but not always easy to fix. So if you're over delivering without billing, that is when you do just one more revision. Okay. Oh yeah, like Hallie says, anyone else just grab their laptop at night and just work away mindlessly? Okay. Or what if you're adding extra styling hours? Or maybe the client just isn't sure about your selection, so you're sourcing 5 more options. Okay. I hear this all the time, and you're not, don't beat yourself up if you fall prey into any of this. Okay. What you can do is define your deliverables clearly in your scope. So for example, oftentimes the client might say, hey, while you're here, can you look at what would you suggest we do? Okay. It could be the guest bedroom. It could be the powder room or whatever. Okay. And maybe I don't say maybe, I say my first inclination is to, yeah, absolutely. I have some ideas for that. But what you need to do is you need to say, I'd love to explore some more options for you. I can create a new scope of work. Okay. So while you are here, or hey, what else is there? What else is there? What else is there? When you give them, the right solution, oh, you're becoming a personal shopper. Okay. These details need to be outlined in your contract. How many revisions do you get? At what price? Okay. What's included in your design fee? And then what happens? So when they're asking you, well, what else is there? What else is there? And you're finding 5 more solutions, all you need to do is refer back to your contract. I'd love to find some more items for you. I would love to find some more options for you. However, in our contract, this is what it says. And this is where you're at. So you're not the bad guy. Your contract is. I have a hard time saying no. So if I can blame my contract, okay, or blame my business coach, the legal team, okay, my legal team, that's basically what you can do so that you don't feel like you are the one saying no. It's just a little mindset trick. But also, that's when you have your CEO hat on. Your CEO hat has to remind your designer hat, no, you cannot keep searching for the most perfect solution. Yes, Whitney, perfectionism and scope creep. The perfectionism, it's a thing. I'm not kidding you. Y'all are look to the left and to the right on your screen. Okay. You are in good company. We are all guilty of this. Underpricing from the start. I was just on the Facebook in our interior designers business launchpad, going crazy, responding there. And I'm seeing that there's a lot of people who are thinking about or discussing setting fees based on what you think the client will pay. Okay. And that in itself is underpricing from the start and leaking money. Okay. What you think the client will pay comes back from us trying to read their mind through their wallet and filtering it through our own money stories. Okay. This is a business. You set fees when you and then you need to factor in your sourcing time, the communication and administrative work. All of this needs to be factored in. Okay. And let me remind you as well, is that we are here for profit. So it's not what we think the client's going to pay. Okay. You need to put a profit buffer in for revisions, delays, client indecision. Like, this is what I teach. So by the way, if you guys are free next week, I am launching a new program called Back to School. Okay. And I walk you through all of these details. Like, how do you put the process together that allows revisions? It allows for delays. It allows for client indecision where you can still maintain your profitability. Okay. So your pricing formula is basically your base fee plus contingency and profit. Okay. You always have to price for profit. It's not just coverage of your time. It's not just coverage of your time. Does that make sense? Like, we get so stuck in our head sometimes that that we're hourly, but do you factor in for your I mean, like, okay, so you're charging $150 an hour, but are you factoring in how much you're paying for insurance? How much you're paying for subscription, like your software subscriptions, your email software subscription, how much you're paying for, did I already say insurance? Insurance, like your car, like the wear and tear on your car. So if you're charging 150, you need to start subtracting. That's not your take home. That is not your take home at all. Yes, all of your overhead, Paula. But what does that entail? We all have different overhead. I have a staff. I have a studio. Okay. We've got benefits, like all these things. So you have to price for profit, not just coverage of your hours or your cost. Now, what I teach and what I'm going to teach in the Back to School, what I teach in the Interior Design Business Bakery, what I teach through the key ingredients, like all of these lead to teaching you how, and what I do for ML Interiors Group is charging a flat fee for my designs. Okay. So you might think that you can skip time tracking because it's a flat fee anyway. Well, babe, let me just tell you, no, if anything, you need to continue tracking it down to the millisecond. Well, not exactly, but you know what I mean. So that you can confirm that, one, you're profitable, and two, when you need to raise your rates. Okay. So you have to skip, you cannot skip tracking your time, and you cannot say yes to client requests without checking the impact on the project timeline. Okay, because your project timeline, additionally to the implementation of the project, is also going to impact the next clients that you can stack in on top of or behind that current project. Okay, so you need to always track your hours, even on your flat fee projects. Okay, because it's data for future pricing. One of the comments that I answered today in the launch pad was, if you're just getting started out, charge hourly, charge it with prepaid blocks, and track your time so you start gathering data to how long things take you. It also gets you in the habit of tracking time. But I think Tiffany said that she charges by the hour. Well, and Tiffany, I'm not throwing you under the bus or anything, but for those of you who are charging by the hour, you are going to make less money the faster you get. Does that make sense? So if you're charging 150, charging $300, you're charging whatever an hour, you're going to get faster and faster and faster. Yeah, it was a profit leap. In that respect, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Tiffany, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so when I said that, that was just to answer your question of
Oh,
giving examples of properly, because I'm not doing hourly anymore. No.
oh, good. Okay, good. Good, good, good.
Okay.
Thank you. And Hallie did clarify. So that is absolutely right. So
Okay. Thanks, Hallie.
yeah, I never want to mislead you in that respect or make you feel called out. So yes, 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 yes. So hourly, is one way that you can do it. That is a big profit leak. Now, keep in mind, y'all, sometimes that's the only way you can do it because that's the only way you know to make money. So just know that we all have to start somewhere. Okay, so just like Tiffany was saying, is that she used to charge hourly and now she's charging the flat fee. So when you know better, you do better. Like there's still things that I know that I can do better, but I haven't had a chance to put it into place. Like hiring Melissa, my new director of operations. I've needed her for, gosh, a year and a half now. So with that, keep in mind that when you are saying yes to your clients, you want to also take a look at the project timeline. Okay. So when a client asks us something, okay, maybe they're changing something midway through or whatever that looks like, what you want to do is you want to pause before you say yes. Okay. Or if you do say yes, like I would, it's like, oh, yeah, absolutely, we can do that. You might say, oh, but let me look into what that's going to require. Okay. Because our first inclination is usually to say yes. Okay. So it's like a pause and price moment where you're like, okay, hold on. That's outside of our original scope, but we can absolutely add it. So let me look into pricing that and also confirm what that's going to do to our timeline. Okay. Because the client might not realize that it's also going to extend the timeline. So just keep those types of things in mind, because then you're also leaking profit because you're scrambling to get it done in the timeline that you had originally agreed to, but they added something to it. Does that make sense? I'm having a hard time kind of describing that. Make sense, everybody? Okay. So there's also not necessarily project specific, but they drain the business overall. Here's where I've been guilty the past year and a half for two reasons. And I can justify it, okay, but it doesn't mean that I wasn't leaking profit. And that is not having the right people in the right places. Okay, what I mean by that is that you have to delegate. Like I don't need to be doing the $25 tasks. Okay, $25 an hour, that's below my pay grade. I need to be doing the dreaming and the scheming and the business development. Okay. I need to be doing one-on-one coaching. I need to be working on my programs. I need to be developing my team at ML Interiors Group. Okay. But when I'm stuck in the weeds because I'm doing the operations and stupid little administrative details, that's what I need to be outsourcing to a virtual assistant or to my now director of operations. Okay. Overthinking is another business, like the overall business leak. Like, are you overthinking your marketing? Are you overthinking your marketing? For those of you who are in the lead lab, we were talking about this last month. Okay. You have to have consistent visibility. So if you're overthinking your marketing and your visibility is inconsistent, you're going to have fewer leads and you're going to have slower growth. Okay. So you need to make sure that you are consistently visible and you will get better at your marketing. What I mean by this is think about if you've had children, okay? Your baby is a baby and just lays there like a little lump, right? Super cute. You just want to pick them up and then they start rolling over, okay? And then they start sitting up and then they stand up and they walk. And then they fall down and go boom and they cry. And then they stand back up and then they start running. And then soon enough, they'll be driving. But my point is here is that in that respect, you have to give yourself room to just be laying there like a lump. And then you try to get up and then you roll over. And when you're overthinking, just keep going. Stand up, start walking, fall, okay, cry, stand up again. So don't overthink. Don't overthink, especially your marketing. Okay. And here's, I'm just going to throw myself under the bus. Like, why, Hallie, I'm might be doing ourselves a disservice. Why would you want to hire me as your business coach, right? If I'm telling you that, if I'm telling you that I was leaking money for, leaking a profit here, and then also not reviewing my expenses regularly. Like, I haven't had a chance to take a look at the last couple months worth of my profit and loss statement. Okay, you should be doing that monthly. There are times where I am like on it like this, and then like now I've been 3 months behind. So who here, yes, I will now. Who here is reviewing their profit and loss statement every month? Reviewing your expenses. And then, so not only do you need to review your profit and loss statement, but you need to drill down into your expenses. Do you know how many subscriptions you might have on your software that you're not using anymore? Or how many apps you signed up for on your phone? Okay. So desperately trying to hire a marketing team and admin, but the projects need to be coming in for that. So in the beginning, yes, girl, it's true. I wish I could tell you that it was just like peaches and cream and that you could just, there's that really weird tension where you are not making enough money to get some help, but then you're going to be making just enough money that it's going to be tight. And then you get the help and it gives you some room. It is hard. Okay. I would be lying to you and buttering you up if I said it wasn't. It's frustrating. But those are some things that we can also talk about in our bakery calls as to kind of like where are you potentially, where can you pull back and where can you speed up? So bring those questions. I don't hesitate in that respect. And there might be some things that you can, I mean, seriously, y'all, you might be able to barter with somebody. So if you know somebody who might be good at the administrative that can help you, maybe you do their meal prep. I don't know. It could just be different things, or maybe you decorate their living room or something along that line. And you can get creative. So if you can schedule a 15-minute monthly profit check to review your pipeline, okay, what do you have coming down the pipeline? Your pricing, your expenses, your workload. For those of you in the interior design business bakery, we've got a cash flow spreadsheet that you can use that also helps you get things organized. Okay. It's much easier to hold on to the money that you've already made sometimes than it is for you to generate more leads. Okay, because the profit leaks are in a small, hidden ways. It's over delivering, but it feels so good, I know. Ignoring scope creep. Okay, underpricing. Some of these are some of the biggest drains, because there was a gal on the Facebook page today that's charging $95 an hour, and I just said, honey, with all due respect, your design genius, everybody's design genius is worth more than $95 an hour. Okay. You just bump that baby up until until people start saying no. But you also have to give them the process that they want to say yes. You have to prove to them. So that is how I think we're doing rolling in the dough in a couple months. That's a sales process. Okay. Protecting your profit is also protecting your energy and your growth and the sustainability. So I'm going to challenge you to something, is choose one of these this week. Okay. Just one. Audit one active project for hidden leaks. Are you over delivering in one of your current projects? Okay. Or track your time for 7 days, like track it. Like from the minute you get in the car to the minute you're where you're supposed to be. Okay. That's billable time. Getting back in the car to go to the next showroom is billable time. So track your time for 7 days. If you're brushing your teeth and scrolling because you're sourcing, that's billable time. Okay. So there's just two things: track your time, or audit one active project for hidden leaks. So y'all, I promise, profit does not come from working more. It comes from keeping more of what you already earn. And for those of you who are just starting, okay, if for those of you who are just starting, these are things that you can be aware of from the get-go, so that when you see it, like, you're, oh shit, this is what Michelle was saying, you'll recognize it faster. Okay. So, spreadsheet, Hallie, thank you very much. Recap, Dee Dee, something you used to say, well, it's just my time. I'll do this one more thing. You stop doing that now, but it's easy to fall back into. Absolutely. Either that or you're faster at it. You probably are faster or better than somebody else who could do it. But you ask yourself, is this part of my role? Okay. So let me give you a quick pitch. Let me invite you um, to inside any of my paid mentorships or coaching programs. Hallie actually tomorrow is hosting an open house for our back to school program that we are going to be offering for the very first time next month. All of y'all bakers, for those of you who are in the interior design business bakery, it's included in your bakery membership. But what we're doing is I'm teaching through our key ingredients, top to bottom. We'll be answering questions, we'll be doing the worksheets, and we're going to be going into details, and we will have some time for a little bit of office hours at the end of each session. So if this free training gave you clarity or momentum, there's plenty of ways for us to work together depending on where you are in your business and where you want to grow. Hallie has dropped some links in there. Join her. Hallie, do you have is there registration for open house?
Nope, there's
Just
not.
show up.
There's not. You just show up. I emailed everybody a Zoom link. I'm happy if you didn't get the email, just reply to any of our emails and I'll give it to you. It's
Yeah.
tomorrow at 12 p.m. Central. And we're just going to do a walkthrough. Like I'm just going to tour the curriculum and let you have insight of what you're going to be learning over the next few months with Michelle teaching it live. She's never done this before, but I think it includes a lot more than people realize. You have bonus modules in there, master coach replays that we've included in key ingredients. It's not there's not a hands-on, like not weekly calls like the bakery where we're doing Q&A and private coaching, but
But
you
it's not the
also,
price.
but yeah, because of the price. But I mean, one new client at these new methods that Michelle's going to teach you will pay back the fee. Like the first client you get, once you adopt these processes, will give you ROI, like the very first one, without a doubt.
Easily. Well, thank you guys for being here. I know talking about losing money is kind of a downer, like a Debbie Downer conversation, but it's part of business and we just have to watch for it. It would be, if you had a hole in your pocket, you would want somebody to tell you, hey, you've got a hole in your pocket. Okay. You're dropping some coinage out or some big bills. So pay attention, take a look, and just be aware of it. Just be aware of it and I want to say be gentle, firmly gentle with yourself when you do find those little leaks, and you can just fix them up. So good to see you guys. Thanks for being here.